Welcome back to WCS America Challenger, and we are in game number 4 between QXC and Select. We're going to jump straight into game.
I'm a little sad, Ben.
Why are you a little sad, Andre?
I lost $100,000.
I am delighted that you did not take that bet because I don't think I could have ever paid that.
Oh, God. $100,000. That's like...
If
die happy
if
right
I
there.
eat nothing but beans and rice for 10 years, I might be able to pay it off.
Ben, it's easy. You just take what, like $200? And then you let it ride on blackjack 7 times. And you got your $100,000. It's good to go.
When I come visit you in Vegas, I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna take not $200, but take $20 again, let it ride.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I come up with 7?
I don't know.
What's to do with that number?
Why don't you do this? Do it like 3 times.
No, 3's not enough.
Okay.
5 times.
Okay.
Spawning in the top corner, top half of Heavy Rain, the blue Terran player. Down 1-2. Complexities QXC.
Really sad about his last game. I mean, that was definitely a game he 100% should have won. But he let it slip. Like, he had every single advantage. He had the macro advantage, army advantage. He had the upgrade advantage. And normally you will never have the upgrade advantage. He had the production advantage. I would even say the tech advantage. And, just that one little misstep, and everything just gets out of control. You really, really have to have that lethal. And that's something that a lot of players have kind of shied away from, right? It's like, oh, if you want to be ahead, get more ahead. And that normally is macro. Get a couple more units. Wow. Brilliant scout here. That is so unfortunate. This is the double Reaper build that we've seen before. But Select going to be scouted out so early. And this is a very easy defense. You get some Hellions, you get some Marines. You just stay defensive. You go for Banshees. You go for economy. And you're able to just put so much pressure on your opponent because Banshees against Reapers, not so good. You don't have a heavy Marine count. You don't have tech. Life is going to be hard for Select.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Of course, Select, the red Terran player spawning in the bottom half of the map. He's going to continue to produce Reapers in spite of the fact that it was scouted. And he's going to be attacking into not just Marines, but also a Marauder.
Wow.
Maybe 2. And a Hellion, maybe 2. So all the things that Reapers are bad against are going to be out on the map right now for QXC. Select's going to find himself hard-pressed to do any real damage.
Hellion should be able to run this Reaper down. And down it will go.
Yep.
2 workers, by the way, on gas. You can see it right there. Starport's going to go down. I like this. He's concentrating on just getting as many minerals as possible. He might just go for the command center right away. There you can see command center being plopped down, but it doesn't matter because the tech advantage is so heavily in favor of QXC, and I love this. He's actually applying pressure while defending with a single Marauder. Okay. He got out. Life is good.
Happy Reaper gets away with 2 hit points. The bigger issue here is that there is nothing back at home to defend against this incoming harass. A single Marine and a single Reaper, I don't think that wins against a Hellion. We'll find out here in a second. Depends a bit on the micro, but when this Marauder gets into the mix, it's going to be very complicated indeed.
Bunker will finish, though.
That's actually going to save the day. So, well done there by Select, finishing up that bunker, and that will secure his ability to get that expansion up.
Look at that. He doesn't go for the Banshee at all. He goes for the Medevac. This is so interestingly smart. God, QXC is really finding innovative ways to go around the double Reapers. Of course, the Marauders are pretty innovative, although it's seen before, but still, like, it's not the main line, right? And I wouldn't say it has counters, but definitely a very cool position to be in. Will Marines be enough for the Marauders and the Hellions? I would say no, because you have that healing Medevac. That helps out so much. 3
Marauders and 2 Hellions are going to try to elevator their way up into the main base. And, I feel like Select, in spite of the disadvantage that he faces after the Reaper opening, is probably going to be able to repel this. He's got a lot of Marines that are coming out. He's got that 2 racks production. He's got his command center up, so he is producing on 2 bases. So not the best opening that he could have hoped for, but also not the worst.
Okay,
as we see that first Medevac arriving.
And he is just going to ferry this up. Yep, Marines in perfect position.
Not even going to try.
So how would you do this, Ben? Would you just, keep your Marauders on the low ground, Hellions try to drop? Of course, Select's going to continue to be as active as he can be, but I think for the most part,
his ability to do damage has basically been thwarted. If QXE takes damage here, it's going to be because he's made a mistake. Or if Select takes damage here, I should say.
Yes.
Because he made his mistake.
And doing some good stuff here so far. Just making it really, really uncomfortable for Select so far.
Mostly just softening up SCVs. For now, it's been a successful defense that Medevac can make its way down to this distant corner, and this is where it's probably going to end its run.
It needs to get out. It just needs to get out. It
trapped
shouldn't
in
be down in this
land.
bottom right. It needs to just boost out, not even worry about it. Nope. He wants to keep it alive for a little bit longer. I really feel like going into this bottom right, you don't ever want to commit it over there because now they know exactly where the medevac is coming from. There's a chance that, of course, Marines can be out of position. I love how Select is
from Select's vision here and see how he does this.
All right.
No, that's QXC's vision. Oh, Select looks like he looked away just long enough. And while he will be able to give chase to this medevac, well, it ran out of boost.
Wow, look at that.
Can he get there? Can he get there?
Okay, he picks it up. Oh,
he does get there.
Pobrecito.
Well done, Select. Cleans up
Banshee.
the drop and finds himself in an okay spot. Banshee is going to make its way into the back of the natural expansion, and it's got 2 kills already, and Cloak being fit. Oh, the scan is good enough. Wow, great play from Select. He is on the ball today. And, man, it really feels like QXE has been getting the better of the openings, but has been getting ultimately outplayed. And this time, the opening is not necessarily way better for QXE. He doesn't have the kind of advantage moving into the mid-game.
I think it should have been way better, but, of course, the drop was parried so well. I mean, Select was very, very active. I think the Banshee is overall a lot better. You can really take advantage because they're staying on Marines for so long, and there's a lot of all-ins that you can do directly behind that, siege tanks, Marines, etc.
It's actually going to be a mech out of
at this
QXE.
point, I do feel like because Stim and Combat Shields are going to be done so fast, and he will have double medevac production, Select has a gigantic advantage. He's not supposed to have these upgrades that fast, and he still has the expansion. But remember, he doesn't have that third command center. This is a third command center is very necessary in this early game stage.
Hellions making their way into the natural expansion are going to try to do something about these Marines. You know, critically, this drop, in spite of flying over some Hellions, it does not look like QXE has done anything to prepare for it. And so he could take some pretty serious damage. 16 Marines speeding into the main base and unloading right on top of everything. QXE, how are you going to defend this? He's got nothing in position. This command center could be in trouble. A single siege tank is going to come, and it is going to go down immediately. Hellions do come back. And that is going to be enough to repel the aggression. That could have been much worse. Good job, QXE, getting those Hellions back into position.
Getting a little dicey, Ben.
It was hashtag dicey.
This is what I'm talking about. Having the Marines out in the map. This gives so much position, so much room to really move around for expansions. And that's what you need as the bio player. You need to be able to take expansions at your will. This map doesn't have a ton of expansions, really. The 2 expansions in the center are kind of dried up. So you want 3, 4, 5 as fast as possible so you can have that overwhelming feel and get your siege tank count up well enough, at the same time getting your upgrade. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you could actually play this out if you are bio against mech, but he has the confirmation now. He has the crucial upgrades to be active on the map to retreat when he wants to. And I think Select, if he plays this out, he can grab the $2,000 that he gains from going into Premier League.
It's a great position to be in if you are Select. He's taken no real damage in the early game. He's even managed to deal a little bit of damage as he is just sitting back, macroing up, building extra bases. He knows that this mech play at a QXE is not really able to apply a whole hell of a lot of pressure in the early game. And so he's going to exploit that by expanding and by getting out on the map and into position to capitalize on his better maneuverability. And Andre, I gotta say, there's still not a whole lot in the main base of QXE, and Select has got a lot of units poised to dash right in there.
I think almost all those units will fit into those 4 medevacs. That would be brutal.
Oh man, this is gonna hurt.
Oh.
Here comes Select once more, unloads in the main base. There's just a single tank, and it is gonna go down very quickly. Repair is not gonna help in this situation. Here come the Hellions to reinforce, but they're going to be funneled pretty badly. Marines with a great concave.
It's Blue Flame, though.
It is going to get cleaned up.
It's Blue Flame, Ben. That's what they do.
Saves the day. But still, look at the SCV losses. 22 workers killed in total by Select. He finds himself up 48 harvesters against 34. That's a great advantage if you are Dignitas Select, who is still active with 1 medevac.
There is an opening here, though, and I think QXC knows this. He says, wow, you lost a lot of Marines right there. That means you're pretty light on the ground. Maybe I can do something with the speed of my my Hellions. But Marauders are already pretty plentiful. This is quite a difficult task to really accomplish.
Well, Marauders are going to try to focus down a couple of these tanks, but the Blue Flame Hellions, there are so many Hellions out on the map, 19 of them. And, well, in spite of that, QXC does not want to commit to an attack right now.
Yep. I think that's wise. I think if he did, he would have lost straight out right now.
More drop harass coming out of Select. He's going to lose his medevac, but he's going to kill a lot of SCVs. The count was 22 before. It's 27 now, and that's all it's going to be as these 2 Hellions get back in time to clean it up. But this pulls QXC off the map, Andre, and this means that Select should probably be ready to secure that base. We see that command center floating.
But look at the income tab, that SCV count. This is where QXC really wants to be, sort of. I use that very loosely, but 48 harvesters to 43. That means QXC has been getting a lot of SCVs. His opponent has not.
Yep.
Select really needs to keep up with that, but this attack might be enough to just end the game right now. He's going to try for that. The Viking coverage isn't that great, so bombs with Marauders might be really good, or he could just push straight up the center.
Questionable attack here from Select, but he is still going to just go for it. Marauders are so good against the siege tanks, and the Hellions have all gone down. Select trying to go for the win right now. There's nothing that shoots up, so this command center is just going to lift. But QXC's been forced back. Without those Hellions, I don't know that he's going to really be able to get any more map control. Like, Select has just dealt a critical blow. There's only 4 Hellions out on the map. Select's trying to ferry himself up in the main base, but does not want to unload on top of that Hellbat and his Hellion buddies.
That's right. Time will help, though, for Select quite a bit. I mean, he's getting his 2-2 pretty fast here.
Siege up this tank.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
It wasn't supposed to end that way.
And the Vikings are so necessary. You need to limit the medevac count as best as possible. But back we are here. It is rather difficult, by the way, to play mech on this map. Just the amount of directions that you can be harassed, dropped, etc.
Yeah.
Approaching the 3rd base. Where's a good 3rd base to really locate everything and mount an assault? You can be counterattacked by either side. So Select, look at this, he's splitting up. Army to the right, an army to the left. He's making sure that there's no good place for his opponent to attack. So if you're not threatening anything, that means you're just doing damage to your opponent.
Here we go. Select is going to go right into the main base. The army of QXC is fairly close by, but is there enough, man? Those tanks, sieged, unsieged, it doesn't even really matter. Hellbat's going to come forward and see if they can save the day. All these hit points, might they be enough? It doesn't even look like they can. The Hellbats are going to go down, and at the same time, the second prong of the attack crashes into the natural, and that's going to do it for QXC. Select playing some great Terran versus Terran. Knocks out QXC with a score of 3-1. Secures his spot in the Premier League, and locks down a $2,000 payday. Congratulations to Select.
Select down. He had the disadvantage 3 games in a row, and he still went 2-1 in every single one. You can see the decision making really come into effect. If Select just shores up his opening and his mid game, the beginning of mid game, I think you have a very fierce opponent for a top contender.
Yeah, awesome play there out of Select, and he's going to be very relieved to have made it once more into the Premier League. And that's a great way to kick off 2014. Guys, we got another match coming up. It's probably going to be Hyun versus Jig. A lot of it is pending Jig's class situation.